Hi, this is Dave, and before we get to the show, I wanted to ask you a favor. One of our goals this year is to grow the show so that What Does Star Wars Mean to You reaches more listeners. And that's where we're asking you for help. And it's really easy. Wherever you listen to us, please hit that subscribe button. If you're liking the show, give us a 5-star rating and review on the platform you listen to us. We make a lot of fun of the algorithm and the smash that button thing, but it really does help us get noticed by new fans. And if you want to join in on the conversation, find us on social at Star Wars Mean to You. That's Star Wars Mean, the number 2 in the letter U. Now, let's chat some Star Wars.
I'm glad I could provide a place that, people can have fun, be who they want to be, and just hang out with really cool people.
Hello there, this is Elora, and I'm a prequel trilogy kid.
And this is Dave, and I'm an original trilogy kid. Welcome to What Does Star Wars Mean to You, the show where we talk to all kinds of fans of Star Wars to take the hate out of the debate and look at the franchise from a certain point of view, one fan at a time.
Yes, and our guest today is Joey from Outpost 77. He is the creator of the Twin Suns Ranch. He's also an avid gamer, loves board games, all kinds of geekdom. We had a really awesome, fun conversation that we can't wait for you guys to hear. But mostly we talked about Twin Suns and the outer galaxy cosplay experience that they've created, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds like fully immersive Outer Rim territory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a team of set designers and actors and what they call galactic explorers that wanted to give fans of the franchise kind of a chance to step into another cosmic world and build a really fully immersive experience where everyone comes and plays. I'm excited. I think we are making plans to go next year.
Yes, we are. And should we go talk to Joey?
Yeah. Let's hear it from him.
Okay, can I say it? Luke, we're gonna have company! Our first question to everyone is always, are you ready to share with the world what does Star Wars mean to you?
Yes.
Excellent. We'll start with 5 with the Force and go from there. So our first question is, which Star Wars movie is your guilty pleasure Star Wars?
Return of the Jedi.
And why do you feel that that's a guilty pleasure?
It's the best. I think it's quintessential Star Wars. It has everything. I know a lot of people like Empire. It's always been Return of the Jedi for me. Always Jedi. It has the best space battle. My favorite ship, the Super Star Destroyer. You see Vader.
Yeah,
it's like everything all rolled into one. And Jabba and Boba Fett, and it's it's just quintessential. It just hits all of the key points, all the veins.
Yep. All the veins.
For question number 2, I have to roll a die. Let's see.
What do we get?
This is rare. A 6.
Oh.
What is your favorite spaceship or vehicle?
So, Super Star Destroyer.
Yes, that's right.
Amazing. It's so big, just so large, massive, even though it has very short film time. I would always dig into the technical manuals that it could hold 3 garrisons, platoons of AT-ATs, scores of TIE fighters. There's just a flying city, just massive. It just goes to the sheer massiveness of what the Empire could do, and and it's like, wow, we need to see more of these.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Question number 3, do you have a favorite line to quote?
That's tough. For me, it would be, what do they always say? I got a bad feeling about this. I know it's cliche, but it's the I think that just sums up life.
Yes.
You'll come into certain situations and then you're like, I got a bad feeling about this. Not gonna go well. So I think that's definitely my go-to line for sure.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's great.
Get that on a t-shirt.
Yes. In our final question. No.
No, there's 2 more.
There's 2 more, sorry. I can't count. Besides the movies, what is your favorite Star Wars content? This could be toys, video games, books, TV shows, comics.
Favorite content is going to be just I'm really big into the starships, all the hardware. I'm the hardware guy. I love all that stuff. It doesn't matter if it's anything cool. I was really big into the TIE Fighter video game when it came out. I loved it. Loved flying the X-Wing. Flying when it came back out again, I was like, this is great. It brought back like great memories. And yeah, just I love the hardware. I love that's my main draw for Star Wars. Is just the hardware. I love the hardware. Even when they're showing off new stuff. As long as it's still within the scope, I think it's all great.
Yeah.
I feel like the Force knew this and made my die roll a 6. Just because of that.
It must have known.
It's like it's really incredible how fate just went that way. So for our final question, which Star Wars character cosplay always charms or impresses you?
Scout Trooper. I love Scout Troopers.
Yes.
I'm working on one. I'm working on a Scout Trooper costume. I'm kind of like, do I stick with the white and black or do I go with the camouflage, the sniper? Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at right now because I just don't have room to put 2. Sure. I don't even have room for 1, so I'm trying to figure it out. First world problems there. It's more just like, I can get it done. I just don't have room. Like, where do you put these things?
Yes. Well, that's our 5 with the Force. Now we like to kind of dive into your certain point of view. And so we always ask, what was your first introduction to Star Wars? And can you walk us through that experience?
Yeah, I remember seeing the films when I was super young. My uncle worked on Empire and Jedi. So
wow.
So there was I remember vividly like going into my cousin's house and then seeing these old VHS tapes with like Return of the Jedi, Empire, and there was all like B-roll or whatever. He painted the teeth. He was in the paint department and he painted the teeth of the Sarlacc. So he's on that like this like vignette back in the day, and then I'm like, whoa, that's my uncle,
Yeah.
And then
that's cool.
Funny enough, like, so it's kind of just there. Like my family worked on it, so I'm obviously that's all they were talking about. My cousins all had the toys, the Kenner toys, and we'd play with all that stuff. And like I said, I love the hardware. I love the the T-47 speeders, all those things, the X-Wings, TIE fighters, loved it all. It was just ingrained in it being with the family. And then what was wild is my cousin, she like found some old photos from like with the ATST and Return of the Jedi, with all the rigging and everything. Just some of the grip workers that had pictures of stuff, and I got some behind the scene footage that like no one else had ever seen, and she just like downloaded. So it was a really
cool,
wow
Easter egg for me.
Yes. Yeah, that's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, what was one of your like humble brags when you were a kid about your uncle being working in the movies?
I didn't know. So more like, I mean, growing up in LA, like everybody was working in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like my dad was working in Hollywood for a little bit, and then all of my uncles was kind of like the family business. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, you're gonna grow up. If you want to make some money, you go do the paint department, and then you'll be set. But you're gonna have no life. So that's kind of like the double-edged sword on that. And then
the golden handcuffs.
Yeah, that was just kind of the thing. It wasn't really like, wasn't bragging about it. It was more just, I kind of didn't, when you're a kid, because I was probably like 6 or 7, when that was all out. So it was, for me, it was more about bringing my Transformers toys to school.
That's funny because the Transformers are very much a hardware thing as well. Mm-hmm. Besides like the ships and stuff, what else resonated with you with the movies?
I believe it's just the hero's journey. You have this like, who came up from a farm. He was just like, I'm looking for something better. I'm so bored of just messing with these moisture vaporators and these droids that break down, and I want something else. I want to make a difference. And I think it's a good kind of point where you're just looking for, just in your regular life, just purpose. And Luke's journey where he's like, this is my purpose to, help the rebellion and stop, the Empire from doing their thing. Yeah, that just really resonated with me for sure.
Did you really associate yourself with Luke? Was that the character you kind of glommed onto, or were there other characters that you really enjoyed their journey as well?
Yeah, it's mostly Luke and Han. That was kind of like, I grew up with a sister, and it'd been great to have like a brother, kind of like Han kind of thing. I think I would grow up like thinking about that when I was younger. It's like, oh, cool, we can be like partners in crime or be the smuggler. Or I'll be the gunner, and you.
Yes. Yes.
But you're always looking for those like connections and things like that. So for sure, it's I loved it all. Like there was so much Star Wars knowledge that I filled myself with just from like playing the role playing games, playing the video games, reading all the like tech manuals.
Mhm.
I had that all ingrained. Even knowing about all the different alien races or like even some of the obscure ones. My email address is the DeFell from the Cantina, which no about until you like read about the extended universe, or you're like, what is that? Who's that guy in the red eyes that's like chilling? Oh, that's a DeFell. It's there for sure.
That's awesome.
After getting into Star Wars, like when you were a kid, how did you interact with Star Wars on a day-to-day basis? Was it just the toys? And take me through, like, did you stay with the Star Wars fandom throughout your, like, teenage years into adulthood? Or did you kind of put your fandom on hold and then come back to it?
Oh, it came out throughout. I mean, with my brain and how much I love sci-fi, like I stuck I was also really big into Star Trek, like people say, oh, you can't like both. I'm like, no, I like both. And I could tell you, I could go down both rabbit holes with either IP, where it's like,
yes.
And then you're like, oh, okay, you really know what you're talking about, or you know what you're doing. Like, oh, I thought you were into Star Trek, not Star Wars. I'm like, oh yeah, but I could tell you about everything, I was just telling my son earlier, I'm like, I'm the king of, like, we just get bombarded with TV and you get all this like useless knowledge because he was just singing these commercials that he just like remembered.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I could recount like all these useless knowledge. Like it's like 44 gigahertz for the shield frequency on the star. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like that has no meaning in real life, but I know it, even though the number could be completely wrong. But but that was where my knowledge is at. As I'm getting older, it just kind of like fades away. But yeah, I know it's been with me forever. And yeah, just keep it going for sure.
Did you get into the role-playing game at all as in the late 80s, Western Games came out with the first role-playing game.
Yep, second edition.
Yes. Were you a big role-player player?
Yes. Grew up in SoCal. We had I played with a bunch of football players, and
wow,
it was Dungeons and Dragons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Robotech RPG, and Star Wars. That's what we were playing.
Oh my gosh,
that's a lot of fun.
It's also the kind of the antithesis of the kind of traditional like jock image, right? That all the football players are playing the Star Wars games, D&D. Like that's awesome.
It was like I had stories where. So there are like physical. I have a story funny where we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and then I had a fighter, and I was chaotic neutral, so I was always being the bad boy, and he was always. And the mage was like, "Hey, you need to be in the front. You're the fighter. You're the fighter." And then I just told the DM like, "I'm gonna stab this dude right here," and then I think I was almost gonna get beat up. It took like 4 of them just because I was just like 4 foot nothing with these like. 300-pound linebackers high school, and then I was like just fearless. I'm like, well, we're playing this game. It should be fine. Like he was mad, but stuff like that. And we would get physical too. We would throw like potatoes and sacks would get thrown across the room. Dice get blown up all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
You guys are just like raging out, but we had some really good times and like really good adventures too.
That sounds so fun. I'm curious, did you end up working in the industry in LA like your uncles?
So I did a little bit on the acting side.
Okay.
I actually did like a feature film with Michael Madsen. It was a small like straight to like VHS, and then did a little bit of comedy and stuff like that. It's kind of like the thing you do.
Yeah.
It's LA, just like you dip your toe in.
Yep.
I was kind of just looking for that balance kind of thing. Yeah.
I was curious. I was kind of catching that vibe, and I was curious how Star Wars either kind of like influenced that or vice versa. How you took that professional kind of aspect of the LA industry and has put it into your cosplay and into kind of your Star Wars fandom.
Yeah, it's definitely there. It's more just you talk to your family about it because most of my family was in the industry. They were doing it kind of thing. And then just for me, it was like personally, it was like just about timing. Like I could have done it, but like, oh, they're not hiring right now or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it just didn't work out with timing, or I was kind of just doing my own thing. When I still show my cousins that are still working, right now, they think it's like amazing. They're like, whoa, dude, this is like, you're doing really quality stuff. So that kind of and buffets it a lot too.
Yeah. Dave, should we pivot to cosplay?
Yeah, because I am curious, when did you first start cosplay? I feel like cosplay as a word is a new word, even though people have been doing it for
costume design.
Yeah. But when did you first start? What got you into cosplay, and when did you first start doing it?
So it's more for it kind of, for me, I'm not really a cosplayer. Like I will, I do to add on to Outpost 77 and like Weekend Strikes Back or stuff where yesteryear where we do our medieval stuff. So it's more
okay.
But that's kind of not true. So in my younger years, probably like 10 years ago, I was really big into airsoft, and we would always do like themed events. So we did down in San Diego. I dressed up as Cobra Commander,
Awesome.
we had a full on G.I. Joe game with airsoft, and then we did it where we had like a sign up sheet, so there could only be one Snake Eyes, one Cobra Commander, one Shipwreck. And I told everybody, I'm like, hey, if you're gonna pick this role, don't you put your best foot forward on it, because you probably took that from somebody else that probably could have done it better. So you better.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be, quote unquote, a shitty Snake Eyes. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's because someone would like. There
will be a real Snake Eyes standing in the background with a tear in his eye.
Yeah, he's like, man, I put so much work into this. But it was amazing. We did stuff like that. We did some obscure things like Dust 1942, where it's like all World War II, where the Germans had new technology, and we had like people walking around in mech suits, and we did a Fallout game where we had like mutants. So yeah, I was gonna say like my cosplay, probably like started early, even though I said it was like later. But yeah, it's definitely good.
Joey, I want to ask about Outpost 77 and Twin Suns Ranch. Like, what is it? Tell our audience what it is.
So if you've already gathered, it's more, I'm a big old nerd. I love it. And then
you're in good company.
Yeah.
Yes.
I built a company where we want to just do full immersion. I'm trying to make it where it's going to be Westworld, sorry. Not West Brentwood or
I actually weirdly knew what you meant. I was like, oh, Westworld. Yeah.
But just create worlds and make immersion. Just throwing events, it was always about, and just being there. People like escape and put that effort into it and doing it. So I kind of got an idea from my buddy to like, hey, no one's doing this.
Yeah.
Let's just start. I was not working at the time, and I got a little bit of money from a startup that I just got like some quick cash that I sold. So, I got a little nest egg that I can make something and start something. Came across some land for super cheap and just started working on it even like during COVID. And, we're just building out there, building worlds. And it's definitely been taken off. We started, with 8 people coming out, like taking pictures, dressed up in Star Wars. And now we've got 125 people out there, full garb,
amazing,
full on LARPing. We'll have, at this next one, we'll have an Imperial invasion with the stormtroopers mess jumping in. I've got some Hollywood guys. They're going to bring in air cannons and actual vendors and bounty hunters that you'll talk to, that you'll go get bounties on people. We'll put you in jail. You'll have stormtroopers rousting you during the film. You go to the bar, we'll have the dancers. It's just full immersion. That's just taking it to the next level and then bringing it to life. That's just the goal.
That's so incredible. I feel like I've been watching from like a distance, not in like a creepy way, but I have been stalking your Facebook page for a while. And I've watched it kind of like evolve. And we're going to have to attach some imagery of Outpost 77 to our promotions for the podcast, because I don't think people understand like just what you've built in terms of its mass. Like, it's incredible. The fact that you're hosting like 125 plus people events now is so fun.
Do you do like you had mentioned the I apologize if I get this wrong, the Imperial attack or Imperial invasion.
Yeah.
Is it kind of a weekend thing where every weekend it's open to people and you have for lack of a better term, games and events or activities for them to go through? Or is it a more of an event thing where it's once every couple months? How do the events lay out? Are they themed, and what has the response been?
Yeah, so it's more, we do them, I want to say quarterly right now.
Yep.
We just set some dates. So we did 3 this year. We're on our second one. It's going to be June 28th. We call it the night market because it's going to be in the middle of summer and it is out in the desert where it does get hot. It's like 104 or the wind really picks up. But around 5 o'clock, the temperature starts dropping. And that's when you see the masks and the aliens come out, because on normal days, they can't wear their stuff because they just overheat. And that's why they kind of love it, because the temperature does drop enough where they're like, oh, I have a full on Wookiee costume and I'm fine. I can sleep bearable. California. And it's kind of real loose, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to get better. We're going to get some like schedules. We have vendors that are always in universe, like ready to go. Like the dance show will be at like 8 o'clock. We'll have the invasion at like 7. But people just kind of show up, hang out, drink, just be in world, it's funny. It's more just like being adult, but like in a Star Wars environment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're just hanging out and you're like nerding out on all your stuff, and seeing the great work that the cosplayers put in on it, and you getting ideas and just being really cool. So that's kind of just how it is. If people want it, we'll do more. It's my place, so we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Well, tell us more about the community that's forming, because it sounds like it's growing each time. I mean, are you seeing a lot of of the same regulars? Do you get a lot of the same cosplayers, or even families coming out? Is it kind of a mix of everything? Like, what can people expect in terms of the community that's coming out?
It's definitely growing. Some families, not as much. I think it's because it's late and the kids want to go, probably putting them to, I bring my kid out there when there's I think the kids really like the LARP when we had it there last time. And if I have somebody hosting it, they'll do it. It's more about what people are going to bring, then we'll have it there. So if the Jedi crew is out there and they want to do their demos or they want to do their Jedi lightsaber class, it'll happen. So,
wow.
So we have the main groups that have been come out this last time. We had Saber guys come from San Diego. We had droid smiths out there. We had the Mandalorian crew out there. There's
nice.
Commandos, and then a bunch of cosplayers that have just followings. They go to a bunch of the different conventions, and just some regular people are just like, this is cool, I want to come. Or some ancestors too. So I want to say it's families, bounders, lightsaber guys or saber guys, droid smiths, cosplayers, and influencers. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
And I do want to say, just so anyone who's interested lives in the Los Angeles area or surrounding areas, I think this is up in Lancaster. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah. It's outside of Lancaster. It's in High Vista. It's actually Lancaster City, but it's close to Edwards Air Force Base.
And I do want to say that I believe, to make people not feel overwhelmed that they have to be a stormtrooper or a Twi'lek or a Wookiee, that even having a vest and desert attire will fit you into that universe, so that they don't feel like they have to be the best cosplayer in the world to be there. Is that correct?
Yeah, I always tell people, just try.
Yes.
Don't half-ass it. Just try. I put together a low cost regular person with I got the Han Solo pant with a stripe down the leg. I got a shirt that has the pleats, on the thing for $12 on Amazon. The pants are $15 on, I got under there $50, did a little bit, pulled the buttons off, and then I was ready to go. They're like, hey, how did you make this? I'm like, dude, Amazon, yes. So just, that's what I say. That's what I tell people, just try. It's more, I mean, you don't want to this is what my partner always says. He's like, you don't want to yick anybody's yum, So
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
so if you put the effort in, people will see that you put the effort. It doesn't have to be amazing. Just if you have the idea that you want to make it cool for everybody else, you'll make it make it great.
Yeah.
I love that you guys say you're your own character on the Outpost site. So I kind of going back to your Star Wars journey, I'm curious, who is your alter ego in this galaxy and what's their backstory, if there is one?
I'm a chameleon. So right now, I'll probably be like an Imperial, like I put like junior grade lieutenant, and I'm running the registration booth. And then we have like ambient noise from like a starport, and it's like telling you to put your restraining bolts on your droids, all that stuff going through there, like you're walking into a spaceport, and then I give you all your stuff you need to go, your ident chip, and then go into the village. And then I'll go from doing that between like my regular person kind of thing, my bounder, I guess, bounder look, and then I'm working on my like scout trooper look because we're working. Hopefully, I'm hoping it'll be done, but we have a speeder bike being built, and I'm hoping it'll be done next week from actual movie scans. So it's from Disney.
Oh, wow.
I've got the files, and then it's gonna be great, and hopefully it'll be done. It's been a little bit, but the guy working on it looks pretty good.
Wow.
And then I want to do like a governor kind of like Imperial governor kind of thing with some furs, and like a cool like jacket. Yeah, whatever the community needs is kind of just like that's where I'm at.
Slot in. Yeah.
That's a crazy.
If I'm gonna ask our favorite question that we came up with. I've been nerding out over this one. If Outpost 77 was suddenly declared canon in the Star Wars universe, we're curious where you think it's located and which crime syndicate would possibly run it.
I would say Syndicate would probably be there, and then the planet would have to be someplace. It's a lot of people call it Tatooine, but it's not really Tatooine because it's like vegetation. So it'd have to be maybe even that world on Mandalorian. They shot it like in like Burbank or something like that. Maybe where they brought the screens out. It could be that world or even its own. We haven't thrown a name on it because I think we don't need to. It's just like the Outpost. You just come out to like, oh, okay, we're going there.
That's awesome.
And I have to ask this is kind of I think an obvious question, but Outpost 77, that's inspired by Star Wars coming out in 1977?
Yeah.
Is there a different meaning to that or did I hit it?
I think we just came up with like a cool number. It was like, what do we call it? And I'm like, Outpost. And then my buddy, he was like, yeah, we're just like 77. And he's like, yeah, that's cool.
Accidentally on purpose.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Something's just kind of worked their ways out.
That's
awesome. So fun.
I love that. Again, there's the strange hand of fate coming in. I feel like the universe is saying this is definitely where you should be.
Yes.
It's been feeling like that for sure. And the love from the community and everybody that's been helping out has been great. I just the gratitude really makes it. When I go out there, everybody's like, "Thank you so much for doing this. Like, I really appreciate it." They know the work that we put in it because most of the time when we're out there building, it's me and my buddy Darth who's out there all the time. And his parents were really big into Star Wars because they named him Darth Rimmer. So.
Oh, wow.
His actual real name. And we're out there just building it. So it's really great.
That's it. How long had you mentioned that you got the land sometime during the pandemic or maybe a little bit before. How long have you been building this out before you opened it?
I want to say at least 2 to 3 years for sure.
Wow. That is really incredible.
So when we first started out, it was like one building. We call it the office. Then we built the homestead, which we call the lumber hut. Then it was the cafe, and then the cantina, which was we bought a dome kit and put it together, and we thought it was going to be a lot smaller than it was, and it ended up being with like a 35-foot ceiling and coming out at 1,600 square feet. Yeah.
Jeez.
So a lot of the pictures are like, okay, that's cool, and then they go out there like, whoa, this place is big. It's like, yeah, the pictures don't do it justice. You got to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had mentioned the community earlier. What's been the most touching or impactful moment interacting with the community for you?
Yeah.
Just hearing everybody's kind of story or how they can connect to it. I have this one cosplayer. She always shows up to every one of my events, and she's like, "This is my childhood dream, and I'm living it every time I come here." And
Aw.
it's
Yeah.
like that's great. And she always puts like her impressions are amazing. So I'm like so glad you're here. You're out there. Shout out to Catherine. Everything. She does a great job and like amazing cosplay stuff out there. But yeah, it's just stuff like that where I never knew the community was that I thought they were into it, but not that into it kind of thing.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
definitely eye opening, and I'm glad I could provide a place that people can have fun, be who they want to be, and just hang out with really cool people.
Is this something that you're able to? You mentioned your son earlier. Is this something that has become a whole family affair? I mean, is this something that you've been able to kind of I don't know, bond more with your kids with, and kind of bring them out into this experience?
Yeah, yes and no. He's kind of he likes the LARPing experience. He kind of wants to go out with like his own thing.
Yeah.
We're like a big nerd family. We play board games like every week.
I love that.
So where it's always
Yeah.
it's like it's not like our special thing, but it's just kind of. I wish he was more into it. I think I'd be more into sports and be like, oh yeah, like I don't even want to do this anymore. I want to just play rugby or something,
Mhm.
swim. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll be riding my speeder bike in the dust. Fun.
Give them some time. What would you say your ultimate goal is for, I think you guys call it the canvas for creativity. So what would be your ultimate goal for this canvas that you've created?
Yeah, we just want to keep growing it and building it, make the tableau even bigger. I'm trying to get people more involved in if they want to. I told the Saber guys, if you guys want to build a Sith temple out here, like hit me up as long as it's like down.
That's awesome.
I like you're just inviting the Sith to come build.
Yeah. I remember one guy hitting me up. He's like, "Hey, can I be like a Sith out there, or can I be Imperial?" I'm like, "You can do whatever you want, man. We have plenty of Imperials out there." It's like, oh, okay. I thought it was just like Rebel. I'm like, no, show up, be an Imperial. Like, it's rad. It's more. I kind of like my huge goal is to make. I want to make Westworld out there. Like, if this is taken off, we don't have a lot of built-in props, but it can switch to like a Mexican like village, and then across the way, if I get the land across the way, I want to build like a Western village out there.
Nice.
Whole thing. I even have my like neighbor who scored a plot next to mine wildly, made that happen, so we were able to extend the village out even more, and he has events out there. Yeah, it's just kind of like building this cool shooting place, and then when it's not being used for the events, it's Hollywood guys just shoot films out there, so it's a film set. So
that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What are the top 3 elements that make Star Wars to you?
I would say the technology,
Mm-hmm.
the cowboy-esque kind of feel, and the space travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't say we're surprised. We know you love the ships and the.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of touched upon that a little bit earlier. What is your favorite Star Wars memory?
You know what? It's kind of like an easy out answer, but I like all of it. It just kind of it builds up. It's always something good came out of it. Like role playing games, I remember those. I remember those times. The events, every single one, I remember it. The ships, the playing the games, I remember it. It's kind of just like a good outlet, and I love it all. Kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
What would you like to see in the future of Star Wars?
If it would be like show wise, I think they should go back to the extended universe. They have great content there, and like use it. And just get back to basics. They're definitely, with the films that show, like Andor was cool. What was it? Acolyte, not so much, but I didn't like completely hate it. I really like Skeleton Crew, even though I was surprised to hear that Skeleton Crew had less viewership than Acolyte, which wild to hear. But
that is insane. It was like the Goonies in space. It was awesome.
I'm like, how do you feel at this? It's fun. Like, I know, it brought me back to be a kid again. And like, Urkel was in it. Like, what?
Yeah.
I think they try too hard, but talking to people that there's people that do come to the event that were in like Kenobi and Mandalorian. I'll have one of the Mandalorian guys at the next event. They just love it no matter what. So they're more into it more than I am. And I think if they have more fans that are people that are really into it, they'll really like it. And even just I don't know if you guys saw that I posted a little bit. It's about the Mandalorian like Civil War kind of thing. It's a fan film that looks amazing. Yeah, stuff like that. I'm like, how is this like short film you guys are making way better than what the mouse is putting out? Right. So with stuff like and what's wild is those guys do work for the mouse, so they're like, yeah, we know, and like we try, but that's why they're making. I'm like, you know what? That's what you do. You make it.
Yeah.
They will come. If you make it, they will come, and you can. If you make it by the fans for the fans will love it.
Well, that's such a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and I think you were going to say the same thing. That's probably so like poetically perfect, and that's what you did. I mean, you were out in the cornfield making your baseball field, and they came. Yeah,
just create things. If that's not the message for today, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
Just do it.
Our final question for you, after talking about this, talking about your love of the technology, your interaction with the fan base in such an amazing way that you built something that they can appreciate and live, like it's almost like a buffet. I forget what you call that, not a buffet, but where everyone brings a dish and you provided the table, a potluck. Thank you. It's almost like a potluck where you provided the table where everyone can bring their own dish and set it upon it and take part in the Star Wars universe. After talking about all this, what does Star Wars mean to you?
Yeah, it's more the community, I would say. And I like that. I like that analogy of like it's. I really like that where it's like a potluck. I brought the place. Everybody's just coming out and showing they're bringing their thing to share, and it's a place where everybody's sharing what means to them. To the place, and we get to see all that, and we all get to share with it, and it's kind of great. It's sharing. It's community. I mean, it's the human condition. We gotta be around other people to function. We're at our best. We're not when we're not hermits, but or Kenobi hermits, but it's just. I think it's just bringing everybody together. It's like everybody I've met, has been really cool. I wouldn't say it's like perfect, but it's pretty darn close. Like everybody's been it's like when you see other people put effort into their cosplays or their kit or the games or their droids or whatever, and you're like, that is sick, man. Like everything, I love everything about it. It's where you just get to see their love and passion just kind of brought to life.
I love that. I love that you built that.
Yes. Well, Joey, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find out more information about Outpost 77 in the Twin Suns?
Yeah,
you can check us out at theweekendstrikesback.com. And then we'll have our two events on the main page. We do our Outpost 77 event. And if you're into the medieval stuff, we do Yesteryear. That is at an actual castle up in Northern California, where we do 14th and 15th century full reenactment. No phones.
Very cool.
It's full immersion. And like I said, for the Star Wars guys, Outpost 77, it's going to be amazing. We also have a Facebook group. You can find it. Just answer the questions or ask for an invite. Don't be a spam bot, and we'll let you in. We have about 1,300 members, I think. I haven't checked. And then we have a Patreon where you can support the team, support me and us just building. And then it's a good time. Check us out we're also on Instagram, Outpost 77. The Weekend Strikes Back too, and then that's where it's at for sure.
That's excellent. So cool.
We'll put all those links in the show notes as well, so people can just quickly click through to any of these if they would like.
Oh, appreciate it.
Right on. Right. Well, Joey, thank you so much again. This was a blast.
So much for reading.
May the Force be with you.
Yeah, always. Force be with you guys.